Yo, yo. What's up, man?
What's up, big dog? How we doing?
All right, all right.
There you go.
See. No, you're good.
Shout out to the champs.
Yeah. So how's it going?
Good, good. How about you? How's yourself?
I'm chilling, man.
There
Chilling.
we go.
Yo, we got Lucas Brown in the building.
Shout out to
Sir.
Yeah.
What camera am I looking at?
Nah, it's
none.
Oh,
none.
none?
Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
I got you.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
I got you. So how's it going, though? Like, what's how's life been after winning the belt?
It's been pretty cool. Nothing really changed. I feel like there's still a lot to be done. There's still more belts and more people that I need to finish.
Yeah.
What's on my mind right now is just resting, still training hard, dieting right, keeping my body in shape, and then at the end of the year, gonna go and fight as Spar Stars again, and then probably for the number one contender, and then I'll fight their champ, and then take those belts over there.
So the belt that you won, what was that for?
That was for so it was for my coach Antonio McKee. He has
Yeah.
his own fight promotion.
Okay.
So, but as of right now, it's on a delay right now.
Yeah.
So they partnered up with Spar Stars to have some of the fights over there moved on to Spar Stars
Okay.
because the promotion was having problems,
Yeah.
and so one of my fights were moved over there,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and so I'm
Oh,
focused.
that's pretty dope, though. So like kind of like just like kind of merging promotions
Yeah,
in
merging
a way.
promotions, basically, yeah.
That's dope. So your next fight then, you said it's gonna be for number one contender.
Most likely, yeah. Yeah.
Any opponents in mind or?
Um, as of right now, not really. With whoever they throw in front of me, I'll take and just beat them, and then go beat their champ. Right now, they're dang, I lucky forgot his name, but their champ is he's a state champ and they're a Spar Stars champ, so he has two belts.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. I think you watched that one, right? When it was for two belts. It was a tall, skinny dude versus a short, little, stocky dude,
Yeah. I
and
think
he
so.
guillotined him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I wanted to fight the winner of that, and so he won. So I'm most likely, if he's still champ by the time I fight and get the number one contendership, and then I'll fight him, he'll most likely be my opponent after that.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been fighting?
So fighting a year, for like actually fighting,
Yeah.
or training.
No, like fighting.
Fighting a year in 3 days.
Year and 3 days. So you already have you're 3-0 or 4-0.
I'm 4 now.
So four fights in a year.
Yeah, less than a year. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
grinded. I
Yeah.
just tried to get to the title as quick as I could.
Yeah.
As soon as I turned 18.
Okay. How old are you now?
19.
19. Oh yeah, no shit. A year. Huh?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. And then how long you been training for?
So I started training boxing and Muay Thai when I was 14.
Okay.
So that's about 5 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. And then I started wrestling. I got introduced to wrestling when I was 11. But yeah, I didn't really stay on it, but I got introduced to it. So I knew some wrestling moves going into MMA.
Okay. And then so your main thing is what, boxing and Muay Thai?
I like to say I'm a well-rounded martial artist, but
Yeah.
mostly striking. Like in my fights, I do takedowns and just to show I can take you down, and just to play mind games with them a little bit. So when we're striking, they think
Yeah, we're just mixing it up,
Yeah,
right?
mixing it up.
So it's gonna open up your striking.
Yeah, for sure. Like
feel
with
it.
this fight,
Yeah.
if you watched it, he
Yeah.
thought I was gonna take him down. I was just striking him, and I played a good.
Yeah, there's a
tactic.
couple times where I was like I felt like you should have went for the takedown.
I shouldn't have.
Yeah, there's a couple times there where I was like, because you had the distance in the fight.
Yeah.
You're controlling the distance with him, and I feel like you gave him an opportunity to let up a little bit to get. I know you're not really catching air because you're doing the takedown. It's different, but I felt like you let him off the hook a little bit by going for a takedown a couple of times.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, there's mistakes, of course, you make fighting,
Yeah.
especially in amateur. I'm not at the highest level yet,
No,
so
yeah,
of
for
course I make
sure.
mistakes. But from my performance, I feel like I did pretty
You
good.
felt like you did good.
I mean, I could have did better. I could have finished them.
Yeah,
But I'll
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a couple times where I felt like you're controlling the fight the whole time, and a takedown, always having a takedown is good because you don't you want to keep your opponent guessing. But there's a couple times where I'm like, damn, you had the combination, then you went and shot for the takedown,
Yeah.
and then you had him against the cage. I felt like if you just kept with those combinations, because he was backing up to the cage anyways, but you still got the W.
Yeah.
And you just watch film and study and learn and
Yes, of
keep
course.
practicing. You're only 4 fights in, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of time to grow.
A lot of time. I have nothing but
Yeah,
time.
you're 19 years old, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's tight. And
Yeah.
uh, So how'd you get introduced to like Antonio McKee? And
Oh, I was training at a UFC gym in Huntington Beach for like a year and a half before I joined my current team, Body Shop. And I was training there, and I had someone that I was training with, one of my old teammates. He was fighting at Knockout Promotions, as the promotion I hold the belt for.
Yeah.
And so I went and watched the fight, and I thought it was a cool experience. I liked it. And I was like, yeah, I want to fight here too. And the crazy part is that, so this happened before, that I was at a park. I was chilling, and then I seen some person like practicing MMA like at the park, with like someone holding pads from whatever.
yeah,
And I lived like right down the street, so I was gonna tell him like, hey, like, whenever you come here, like we should train, like, get together, get
Yeah.
training, because you look pretty good. And then that same night where I went to go watch my teammate fight, that dude, he walked out, and I was like, he looks familiar. And then I put it together that was
so he
him.
was actually fighting.
Yeah, he was fighting, and then I went to
Okay.
his Instagram and I showed him at the same park. So okay, so this is this dude.
Yeah.
And then he hit me up to train, and then we trained, and I was solid, so I used that opportunity to like, he basically said if I wanted to get introduced to the team, and I was like, yeah, of course.
Okay.
And I knew they were a high level team, and so basically since then I've just been with
Yeah,
my current team now.
So those people that say like hanging out the park with your homies like is not good, it worked out for you, right?
Yeah, it
Just
worked
chilling at
out.
the park
Yeah,
and end up,
basically.
and that's a good team too. Antonio McKee like comes from like a wrestling background,
yeah.
wrestling coach and all that stuff, and then his son
Yeah.
was Bellator champion.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and then now they merged right to
With PFL.
PFL.
Yeah.
Did he fight on the PFL
The merge card. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. He beat the guy, I think, in 90 seconds.
90 seconds?
Yeah, he just hit him with like a 1-2 elbow, took him down, submitted him.
Yeah. And what class is he fighting in now? He's not,
He's so as of right now,
is he lightweight
his
still
last
or
fight.
bantamweight or
So his last fight was supposed to be featherweight,
featherweight?
but I think the dude dropped out on late notice, and I don't think no one wanted to fight him at featherweight on late notice, so
Yeah.
they had an opponent for him at 55s
55.
at lightweight.
Lightweight.
So he just took that fight. So I don't know if his next one's gonna be at featherweight or if
Yeah.
it's gonna be at lightweight. It's either or.
Lightweight's 55 is a good division.
It's
Though.
a good division, but honestly, I like him at 45s.
Yeah,
'Cause
because he's bigger. He's taller
bigger,
too.
stronger,
Right?
that too. Yeah, way taller.
Yeah.
And then I want to see him go to the UFC and fight
Yeah.
Volkanovski and Ilya Taporia and all them.
So hopefully they're not around. I like Max Holloway. So
Like Max Holloway.
I need him to get his. I need to get that Taporia fight.
Yeah, I want to see that one too. I think Volk, of course, deserves a rematch because he
Yeah.
was a dominant champion
Yeah.
for so long in that weight class. But I think he needs to take time off and let
Yeah.
Max fight Ilya
Especially-
first.
Especially back-to-back knockouts.
Back to back.
Like back-to-back knockouts. You need at least a year and a half.
No, for sure. Back
Like,
to back. Like
they-
one, like Justin Gaethje said 6 months, but
Yeah.
two back to back, you got to take some real time off.
Yeah. Especially they're both vicious. That head
Yeah.
kick was nasty.
And then
And
just
then
that right hand to the chin,
Yeah,
dude, that shit was
on the money.
crazy. Just
Yeah.
dropped.
So yeah, give Max a shot.
Yeah, dude, I want to see that one for sure.
I do want to see that one because you can't use Taporia's trying to use MMA math. Like that shit don't add up.
Honestly, I like Max. I want Max to win, but if I was betting, I think Taporia got some, honestly, because everyone thinks like Taporia, oh, he's a great boxer, he's a great,
Yeah.
like he has great footwork, but if you're a real MMA fan, he comes from a jiu-jitsu wrestling background.
Yeah.
He's like, he's a high level wrestler.
Max got a good takedown defense though.
That's the one thing too. If you watch MMA, he's never really fought a high level wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy. And people say
Volk.
but he doesn't have that wrestling background. I'm
Well,
talking about like he did
yeah.
good against Islam. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That was a great fight. I wasn't expecting his wrestling to be like that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like that Khabib Islam like wrestler. He's never fought someone like that type of high level wrestling
Yeah.
that shoots on you over and over.
But Topuria don't fight like that really.
He doesn't. But Max might make him fight like that. You never know.
Yeah.
He hasn't ran into a person that makes him want to wrestle.
Yeah.
And
But I feel like Max's aura as like in the ring it's and then when your ego starts to get involved in that shit, I think Topuria is gonna want to knock him out. Like gonna try to knock him
he's
out.
gonna try.
He's gonna try, and then
yeah.
maybe when it goes in, starts getting to deep waters, like third round, something like that. Even in the second round, he sees like okay, the footwork of Max, the angles of Max, the length of Max. He might want to go shoot for that takedown, but we'll see. Yeah, that's why that's why that fight's so interesting because the angles and length of Max helps in his takedown defense. Like him cutting that ring or cutting the octagon and then jabbing and like how he moves side to side when he throws the punches, that helps with the takedown defense because now you're worrying about not getting hit and then trying to shoot for the takedown,
Yeah.
and then trying to like predict where he's gonna be at. So like I don't know, it's interesting.
It's very interesting. But
Yeah.
like I said, I want Max to win, but I feel like
Yeah.
Taporia might get it.
It's kind of good too. Like, you know, the new guys are coming up. You want to build like new stars. You want to
Yeah.
build new names.
Well, like that's what the UFC basically did, you know,
Yeah.
because like Max said that they didn't they give Max always the newcomers
Mm-hmm.
and he beats them all and there's
Yeah.
no new people for Volk, so this time they just let Taporia skip Max just
Yeah.
to fight Volk because they want to see something new,
Yeah,
and then now we got a new featherweight champion.
crazy.
So yeah, there we
It's
go.
not, there's not a lot of. He's like, well, in the featherweight division, he's only what, the fourth or fifth champion.
In a while, yeah,
Yeah, because
it's like
there's-
fourth or fifth.
Because it's only been Aldo.
Aldo, McGregor, Holloway,
Wait.
Volk,
That's it.
and then
And
Taporia.
then
now.
Taporia.
Yeah,
Dope. You went to UFC 300, right?
yeah, I went to UFC 300.
So you saw the knockout live?
Yeah, man, the Justin Gaethje Max
Yeah.
fight, man.
How was that live? Like, how was the energy?
It was just crazy, dude. Like at first, I was already mad that Oliveira lost before
Yeah.
before
I
that
know.
fight. Yeah, and then that one I knew Justin. If it would have went to the decision, Justin was gonna lose. He just didn't look right.
Yeah.
That spinning back kick that like broke his nose.
It was a spinning heel kick or something.
Yeah, that broke his nose. Like
Yeah.
that just I think that kind of changed the fact of the whole fight. You know, trying to
Yeah.
fight 5 rounds with a broken nose
Yeah.
is probably
Yeah, 'cause
uncomfortable.
The second round he looked done. Like
Yeah.
third round he gained some energy, and like, okay, like he's back. He's kind of back a little bit, but
Yeah.
not normal.
Yeah.
But like, I thought he was gonna be done like earlier.
Yeah, but
But
then-
it's a Gaethje.
Then he pointed at the ground, and then I was like, all right, whatever, he's gonna go to the distance, whatever. And then I just seen him just land that
Yeah.
on the chin, and it just dropped.
And then it just went.
I was
How was it in there? Like
everyone was
crazy?
going
Like,
wild, crazy, just shit was getting thrown,
fuck.
everyone was screaming. Yeah, man, that shit was crazy, man. It was a great experience. I'm gonna go to the Conor McGregor fight and with the Michael Chandler.
Oh, you're gonna go to
Yeah,
that
I'll
one?
go to that one too.
That was interesting.
The card looks a little not good, but I mean,
Has they announced the full card yet?
I don't know if it's the full card, but now it's like a good, like the first, like I think the main event. I like the main card.
Who's on the main event? I didn't see that.
It's Jamal Hill versus
Oh yeah, versus
shit, I forgot his name.
Roundtree.
Something, yeah.
Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
And then I forgot the other ones.
That's a that's gonna be a hard one for Hill.
Yeah,
Roundtree is fresh, like he's
He's
fresh, and he's fresh. He's coming off like he's looked really good in his last couple fights, especially, and then he just looks super fresh and like he looks vicious. His leg kicks are fucking.
Oh yeah,
yeah, his leg,
beats and
yeah,
stuff, yeah.
they're his leg kicks are crazy, and then just coming off a knockout like that, so like a fast turnaround.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's
But
trying to come back
Hill's a
quick.
beast, man. Hill's a beast.
He's a beast, but I had Alex Pereira winning.
Yeah,
I did. I honestly, I wanted Hill to get knocked out. I don't know.
well, just the way he was talking,
the way he
in the
was
press-
talking
yeah.
crazy about
because
Alex.
he's never been like that. Like if you've seen him in his other fights, he's pretty humble.
Sometimes, yeah, but this one he was
Yeah, but-
super.
Yeah, well, of course people talk shit.
but
they're
yeah,
fighting,
of course it's a
but
fight.
like for the most part, like he's pretty humble. He'll say some slick shit here and there, like talking, but like the way he came out for that press conference was like that's out of character.
I mean, I get it. You know, you're trying to get the views. You know,
He's trying to get the views, and
I
he's
mean,
been out for a
it's
while,
fight
and
game, you know.
he feels some type of way. That's his belt. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of factors,
Yeah.
but
No, yeah, for sure. But yeah, when he got dropped, I was with my best friend, my homie. We went,
yeah,
and he was going for the Jamal, and when I seen him just land that hook,
yeah,
I was just talking shit to him, yelling at him.
yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah, that shit was,
Right here they're saying what? So somebody's name is Ryan Garcia, and then he has a snow and a robot. So I don't know. Did you watch the Ryan Garcia Haney
I
fight?
lost money on that fight, dude.
You lost money on that fight?
I bet on Haney.
You bet on Haney?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
did. I'm not gonna lie. It's just 'cause Ryan tricked me, bro. He said that whole thing was I don't know if you've seen it with Ryan talking about said he was gonna make the world think he went crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he fooled me.
fooled you.
And then I just thought Haney was just gonna win because Haney has good defense if you watch all his past fights.
yeah,
And so I thought, he'd have been like, even though for sure, I'm for sure gonna say that when he fought Tank, that fight had a good factor, a different factor because he fought Tank at 135 with a rehydration class. He couldn't
yeah.
hydrate all the
They
way.
actually, yeah, I just found out because I thought it was 135 because that's what they fight. But I guess in the contract it was a 136 fight.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, or
He got 1 pound allowance.
Yeah, 1 pound allowance, and then I guess he gained up to 10 pounds at so 146.
Yeah. So
But-
Yeah, and then so of course that played a factor because I mean, as a fighter, when you're cutting weight, losing
Yeah.
weight, and then if you can't rehydrate, oh man, I don't imagine how that feels.
Yeah.
That shit probably sucks. So that's why I for sure say that okay, yeah, that fight played that played a factor in the fight,
Yeah.
but I still think Tank would have beat him.
I think so too, because you having just being like just being the weight, it's not gonna. That doesn't change the fact that you're telegraphing that left hook.
Yeah,
You know
and,
what I mean?
and
So
Tank was working that.
when you're giving Tank that much information so early, like he's gonna that's all he needs. So
That's dropped him in the second round.
yeah, I lost money. I didn't lose money. Yeah, I lost $100 on the fight, but I bet $100 on Ryan for knockout.
Oh, you bet $100?
100 for knockout. So I feel like I got robbed by the referee.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that
Yeah.
ref was tripping, dude. I mean, I didn't care. I had $100 on
Yeah.
Dane. Like, do what you gotta do, but
No,
nah,
but
crazy.
that's 3 knockdowns in one round. Like so technically he would have had 6 knockdowns.
And I seen that they counted a few. Like, no,
Yeah,
knockdown.
so 2 in the 7th round they took away this bro, and then there's like the one where Haney's bent over, knocked out, right?
That was the first one. That was
Yeah.
when he first knocked him down.
That should have been over.
Oh, I mean, he beat the 10-second count.
Did he? But how long did he count for? Come on, like he tells Ryan to step back, yelling before he even starts counting. He's like yelling at Ryan, like
Well,
step back.
Everyone knows boxing's a rig nowadays, you know.
Yeah, it's
for
true.
sure.
Yeah, that was at least like 20 seconds.
Yeah, there ain't no secret to it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, they just didn't want. They're trying to give Haney every chance,
they tried.
and
It didn't work.
no.
He couldn't. I don't know. I think for him having such good defense, I don't know how he didn't like. I guess like the speed and power caught him off guard, but like how he didn't work that to counter the left hook
Yeah,
because he didn't counter really at all
but
or defend it.
yeah, like so Haney's good with the jab and he has good defense, but when he does throw that left, he does lean forward a lot.
Yeah.
Even like, was it the left or his? I think he was throwing his right hand. When he's throwing his right hand, he was overextending a lot. So like he was overextending a lot, and that's what's catching
Left
him.
him open.
Yeah,
And especially in the clinch, because one thing when you watch when he fights, Ryan Garcia fights, when you're in a clinch, he likes to still throw when you're
Yeah.
clinching. And then fucking when
Yeah.
Devin broke off, he didn't think a left hook was coming.
yeah.
Bam,
and
caught him again.
and he has that fast. He's fast, right?
He's super fast. And he's super
and he's awkward,
powerful.
and then he's awkward because like he kind of throws off balance. So when he's in the clinch or when they're about to clinch, he's like off balance, but he's still able to like he's still able to have that power in those punches when he's like a little bit off balance.
Yeah.
So it's like awkward. So it's kind of hard to prepare for that too. But they had 6 fights prior to this.
Yeah, amateurs.
So it's like,
Yeah.
but it was a good fight.
It was a good fight. It was a good man. I was talking. With the person I bet it with, I was talking shit. I was like, "Hey, this is my Zell."
Yeah.
Because when Haney was the first one to Ryan, but then the like 4 or 5 rounds after that, it went to Haney.
Yeah.
So I was talking shit. I was like, "This is my Zell."
Yeah, but
Ready to pay. And after that, shit just went left.
This what? Yeah, I don't think Haney ever recovered after that first hook in the first round. I feel like Ryan was. It looked like Ryan was almost gassed, so he's kind of like pacing himself. But I feel like Haney never recovered from that first hook.
Really didn't.
No.
It shocked him.
It shocked. Yeah, because then after that, anything that Ryan threw, it touched him. Like you can tell it hurt him.
Yeah.
Like anything.
For sure. Like his eyes were rolling back. And when he got knocked down, it just made it worse. It just like he broke under pressure.
I just didn't expect it to go like so one sided. The fight I didn't expect it to be so one sided.
Well, I mean, continue.
No, go ahead.
Oh, so I mean, if you think about it, from my perspective, the reason why I had Haney, is that what you mean, right?
Yeah.
More people on Haney
Mhm.
is because I mean, all right, so
No, like I mean, like one sided of like how the fight went, like how Ryan just dominated the whole fight.
yeah.
I didn't expect it to be like that. I expected more of a fight. I expected Haney to be controlling the ring, and then Ryan just on the attack.
Yeah,
And
pretty
like
much.
and trying to like that's why I expected the fight to be. I expected Haney to be on the outside with his jab, trying to work the body and trying to go up top and just pretty much controlling the fight in the ring, and then Ryan on the attack. That's why I expected.
Yeah, everyone knew Ryan was gonna be on the attack.
And that Ryan was on the attack, and in a sense that did happen, but his shots were just too powerful. I think Haney just couldn't handle the shots.
It was way too powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was upset, dude. And then as soon as the fight was over, my boy hit me up like, "This is my Zell." I was like, "Oh, that's crazy, bro." It's all good though. Win some, you lose some.
Yep, for
I
sure.
think he'll be back though. Haney will be back.
Yeah, he like same thing, time off because he didn't get knocked out, but he did. It was a beating. Like I don't know. They say that he said he didn't get his jaw broken, but from like looking at it, like just the side of his face, how it
It was
bruised, it
I don't know if
rests.
that was real or that was edited.
No,
It was real.
I think it was real.
I
Yeah,
didn't get to watch the post fight interview.
yeah, no, it was real.
Uh,
Yeah, and then he was out of it because like he tried to climb the ropes on at the end,
yeah,
and
and he
slipping off the rope.
flipped.
Like
Yeah, nah. Trying to sell it to the judges.
yeah, but bro, you can't even climb up the ropes. Like you can't sell that.
Yeah, nah.
Do you think that they should have that rematch back, like run it back, or
I mean, to be fair, Ryan did miss weight by 3 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I feel like,
yeah? But Haney's not losing the bout, so
and he didn't lose the belt.
so.
But Ryan already said he's not gonna do 140.
Yeah.
He's gonna go up to 147.
Technically, he is supposed to not have that bout is supposed to be vacant. Like
Yeah,
even
it's supposed to be.
it's supposed to be
Because
vacant.
he
but-
lost.
Yeah, but
But
he's keeping the
It's
belt.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So
I thought he
you-
lost it.
Yeah, no, he's still keeping the belt. So I think his mandatory is Sandor Martin. So that's supposed to be the mandatory, which is a decent fight, but he's supposed to be vacant. But I
Yeah.
don't know. They're trying to play favorites.
Yeah,
It-
for sure. But yeah, no, they're not gonna run it back. I would want to see it again, but they're not, because Ryan said he doesn't want to do
Yeah,
no 140 no more. He's gonna go up to 147.
yeah. Cutting weight is just crazy to me.
It sucks
Like
though. It
it's
does.
just you have to cut a lot of weight.
Yeah, I cut like 20 pounds. When
You
I
cut
fight.
20 pounds?
Yeah, like 15, 20 pounds. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, it sucks.
And like you have like a specific routine for cutting weight.
I just diet really. Like I diet and I train. I train 2 times a day. I try to train 2 times a day regularly. But when I'm in camp, it's like for sure. Like when you're not in camp, you're like, okay, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna rest. Like 'cause
Yeah.
you're not in camp. But when you're in camp, like you gotta diet. You gotta eat right. You gotta fucking train in the mornings, train at nights, and so that helps a lot with cutting weight. Then you have to run too.
Yeah.
You run nice, slow pace. But drink a lot of water. You have to drink a lot of water, because the more water you drink, the more you sweat.
Yeah.
So it kind of plays a factor. And so cutting weight, yeah. And I try to lose 10 pounds every 2 weeks. I try to do it so my first fight, I weighed in at like 160. I was 160, and I try to cut from a month like 30 pounds basically, or 25 pounds
Yeah.
every week. And I did that shit horribly, dude.
25 pounds every week.
Like no, like
eh.
10 pounds every week.
Oh, 10 pounds every
Now I do 10 pounds every 2 weeks,
weeks,
so I
yeah,
do it
yeah.
right. Last time I thought I could do that,
Yeah.
and as I got to like the third week, I started feeling just fucking weak and just bad, and I just had to keep going, and I did. And the first fight I had, I almost missed weight by 3 pounds,
Yeah.
and they were like, you have to go lose those 3 pounds. I was like, fuck. So I had to go run dehydrated, in a
Jeez.
sauna dehydrated, and that shit was just horrible. And I was like, I don't ever want to feel like
You
this
start
ever
feeling
again.
dizzy and shit.
Fucked up, bad.
yeah.
And it's the same day weigh-ins. Amateurs, you have to weigh in the same day.
Oh, same day weigh-in?
Yeah, unless you fight on a pro show,
Yeah.
then I'll let you do it day before with the pros. But most amateur shows, you have to do it like the same day,
like
in the morning, before
So
you
what
fight.
you get a couple? You just get
You
a
get like 7-8 hours. Well, I mean, depends what fight you are too.
yeah.
Me usually, since I'm like, most of the time I bring a big crowd when I fight, so they always want like the people that sell a lot of tickets the last,
Yeah.
so the crowd can still stay there. Because when people fight, they leave, they go, and
Yeah.
family.
they're for their people.
Yeah, so I'm usually one of always the last fights, so I got time. I have time to rehydrate. I drink a lot of Gatorade, Pedialytes, and water.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fight was, man.
For amateurs, are you allowed to use like IV drip or anything?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Never tried it.
And then so going into camp, like we'll say you book a fight today, right? And you're going into camp and you go weigh yourself. Say you weigh like you're weighing 160 right now. Like, are you ready? Like you start dieting right away, or you
Right away.
Right away?
Yeah, right away.
Are you dieting throughout like in between training camps? Or are you kind of just watching what you eat?
Well, you mean by like when I'm not in camp and I eat whatever I want?
Yeah. So like when you're not in camp, like so say right now you're not in camp right now,
No.
right? So you're not in camp right now. Are you like eating whatever the hell you want, or you like,
Honestly,
or
no,
you watch what you eat?
Now, this is my first time out of camp where I'm not eating whatever I want. I still try to diet throughout the week and have maybe like 2 cheat meals out of the week,
Yeah.
maybe 3. But it's because like I would get like a little fat.
Yeah.
Basically how Aljamain and Patty,
Yeah.
I would get like that. Like I'll be on shape and cut, but
Yeah.
then when I'm in camp, I get fat. And I was in shape for so long for this last fight because the fight kept getting pushed back. I was like, I don't like the way my body looks like fucking anymore. So I'm gonna just try to stay at least like 150, 145-ish instead of being like 155, 160.
Yeah.
You might think there's not a big difference, but in your body, it shows like it's a big difference.
Oh yeah.
Like when my body's at, even my body shows a difference when I'm at 153 and when I'm at like 147.
Yeah.
My body just shows completely differences.
Oh, for sure.
And so I want to be around like I want to walk around like 147-ish, so I look more cut, and I want to start doing like uh kind of be like Instagram creator or something, like post my training videos
Okay.
and like stuff in the background, you know, those type of reels on Instagram and
Yeah.
stuff. So I want to start doing that. So I want to look in shape when I do it. I don't want to fucking look all fat when I post it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's one reason why. And well, I mean, those are the reasons actually. Like I want to stay in shape to stay
Yeah.
like
And then
year
it's-
round basically.
And then it'd just be easier to cut that weight, wouldn't
Way
it?
easier,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you're not cutting as much.
Yeah. But I get pretty big, dude.
Yeah.
I'm 160 right now.
You 160 right
Yeah,
now?
right now
Oh.
I get pretty big, and I think and I have this job too, and like so they do like events, like they're mostly food events,
Okay.
and like
So
on the
you be
week
snacking and
in the
shit?
weekends, and we could eat. Most of the time, the people would trade us
Yeah.
for what we sell. They'll trade us free food, so I could fucking eat whatever, mostly the food I
Yeah.
want, and they'd be having like pizza, burgers, or like good ass food, good Chinese food, any
Oh,
type
yeah.
of Asian food, Mexican food. It's like basically like a fair just with food.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And
I
then
should be going
that-
ham.
Yeah, it gets out of hand, right?
Yeah, out of hand, dude. I went one time. I worked one weekend. I was like, no, I'm gonna keep my weight down. I'll gain like 3 pounds, 4 pounds, whatever. I'll burn that off when I get back.
Yeah.
I came back 10 pounds in a weekend, bro. I was like, oh no, this is crazy.
Yeah, I gain weight pretty quick, bro. Like it's
Yeah, I gain weight quick and I could lose it quick though.
Yeah.
So that's my factor.
no, yes, yeah,
But I'm
same,
like,
kind of the same. I don't lose it as easy as I used to lose it. I'm a little older now, but like I still like I can still I'll lose it. Like if I'll start fasting
yeah, okay.
and then I'll work out. And I'll usually work, depending on my schedule. I like to work out fasted.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, me too. That's how actually, I forgot to put that in. That's how I
Yeah.
cut weight too. I don't eat until after 1 o'clock.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, people will say, "Oh, that's not a long fast." But I mean, when I train in the mornings,
hmm
I lose like about 2-3 pounds every time I train.
Yeah.
So, cause
So you'll eat after 1, and then when do you stop eating?
and then I'll try not to eat after 7.
Okay.
But instead of eating like meals that get me full, I'll take like one big meal and I'll like cut it into portions throughout the day,
Yeah,
and that shit helps you lose weight too.
for sure.
Yeah. So that's how I usually fast. Yeah.
And then like for recovery, what are you doing for recovery?
Sleep. I
Sleep?
mean, I feel like I'm young, so I mean, I don't really need
Yeah.
like all that. I mean, of course, I would want to do it. Like, I don't know, like all the other recovery. I see people be
Like
using
like the
like
cryos
cryos and all that. I don't
ice-
really. Yeah,
ice
bath.
baths
I've
and
done that
sauna.
one time, and it's cold as shit.
Yeah,
Did it with my teammate AJ. That shit was cold. But
massages like and
yeah, I honestly, I've never had like a recovery while I fight. I just sleep a lot.
sleep
Or
up.
rest. And every time after training, I sleep. Like Khabib even said, like the best type of, um, like I don't know, I forgot what he said, but something about like the best recovery. The best type of recovery is sleep.
Sleep.
Just sleep. And
Well, yeah, that's when your body's like healing, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're building muscle, like your tissues are regenerating, like your cell, like everything's happening when you're sleeping. But a good massage,
you know, of
the
course.
sauna, like
Yeah, I've done saunas a few times, but not in training camps. and
not in
stuff.
training camps.
Yeah.
Just use them just to cut weight.
Yeah. Well, not actually no. Oh, the one time, yeah, this gym down the street I did. I mean, I had to go, so I just went and
Yeah.
fucking sat in the sauna with the sauna suit. That
Yeah.
shit was horrible. Like the worst. Honestly, that's like the worst feeling so far I've ever felt. Being dehydrated in a sauna
yeah.
with a sauna suit.
Yeah,
like,
that's
that shit
being
sucks.
dehydrated in the sauna. That's rough.
That
But
shit
like
sucks.
after a good workout, going to the sauna and just like it keeps your heart rate up too. So
Yeah.
like you're burning fat because your heart rate's you're keeping your heart rate high. Like after a good workout, you go in the sauna, that heat's keeping your heart rate high. So you're still like it still feels like you're working out. Like your body still feels like it's working out. So you're still like burning calories and
Yeah,
burning.
basically.
Yeah, so it's cool. And then there's like studies on like sauna for like connected to like heart disease and shit.
Yeah.
So like
those
if
studies.
you do a sauna like I think it's like 20 or 30 minutes a day, like it decreases like diseases in your body.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be seeing those on Instagram and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So I think about that shit because I'm a little older. You're still 19. When I was 19, I was eating like an animal, and then going to work out and that shit
Burn
goes
off.
away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. But
What's your plans? What's your goals? Like, where do you see yourself? Like, you fighting for PFL or you
well,
going to
yeah. So
UFC
as of
or
right now, like as an amateur, like my coach even says, like you could go to the UFC at the beginning of your pro career and see where that gets you. But I mean, if you really want to like succeed, you should do not little, but like Bellator, PFL, or like even Up Next, those type of
yeah,
fight organizations to build yourself up, fight those easy, like not easier fights, but easier fights in the UFC,
yeah,
and because you're not going to be getting paid that much when the beginning of your career anyway,
hmm
and then build yourself up, basically like what Michael Chandler did, basically.
yeah,
Like he was a great fighter coming up in Bellator and other organizations, and when he hit the UFC, even though he's not doing as good as
yeah.
he should be doing, that's basically like the path I want to take.
Okay, so you see yourself going like, well, yeah,
I want to go to the UFC when I'm like 27.
when you're 27.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a good age.
yeah,
Michael Chandler was a little older
yeah.
when
He's
you're
like fucking like 35,
yeah,
34.
27 is cool because then you go like you build a name. So when you go to the table, like so when you, at 27 is a perfect age to go over there because you're 19 now. So by the time you are a pro, you're 27. You already had fights in these other organizations. You're building a reputation. You build
Yeah,
up your Instagram, your followers, your fan
basically.
base. So when you go to that table, you're gonna have something. What's the word I'm looking
Like
for? Yeah, you're gonna have have leverage.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
you have leverage to go with it, and that's cool. So when do you plan on turning pro? Like, have
Um,
you thought about it, or
yeah, of course I
you
have.
kind of just going with the flow?
I mean, I'm going with the flow, but I want to probably be pro by the time I'm like 21.
21.
Yeah,
So like 2 more years.
or maybe before. It depends, If amateur career and I'm undefeated, if I don't want to have fucking 10. There's amateurs, dude. That's crazy. They have like 10, 12 fights. Like
Yeah.
go pro already, bro. I'm only on my fourth one, so I mean, by the time maybe like about 8 fights, 7 fights, maybe then I'll go pro. So if I have that many fights before I'm 21, I'll just go pro before like when I'm 20 or something.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
Yeah, because it's way different than like boxing, right? Like you guys,
Oh yeah,
amateur boxers
yeah,
have like
boxers
200
have
fights.
fucking hundreds of fights. Yeah, MMA is a little different. You don't want to be taking too many MMA amateur fights.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
way different.
way different. But yeah, that's basically the plan. Be in UFC by the time I'm like 27, 26. That's a good age. And yeah, pretty much from there.
And do you have like are you keeping an eye on like other like amateurs out there that you're looking at that you might fight, might come up with or
Um,
cross paths?
CrossFit, yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, I feel like honestly, after I got one belt, I want more. I want to go to Stars and take that belt, the 135 belt from their champ, whoever it is when I go fight.
Yeah.
If I don't care who it is, I'm gonna get that belt, and then of course I want a state championship. Right now, I'm ranked number 13 in California in the
Careful.
amateurs,
Okay.
so I want to be number one. In order to do that, I need to get the state title. They have a state title,
Yeah.
so I want that too, and then even. After that, I might go to Up Next and whoever their champ is. I know your cousin was the champ, but
Yeah.
from what you said that he's not fighting there no more.
Yeah. Right now, they just did the U.S. team, so I know they had that because something just came out too about like rankings. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a good wrestler. He's a great wrestler. When
Yeah.
I seen him fight, it never looks like he's in a bad position on the ground
No, well,
ever.
he's been doing jujitsu since
Or
he was like
like a kid. Yeah, I
yeah.
know. I've seen the people what are they called? The announcers, whatever. I
Yeah.
forgot. The table men.
The
Like
table
they
yeah.
talk about it. Like yeah, he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has a really great ground game.
So
Good striking.
there's a page called Fight Fan Culture. They just dropped like a pound per pound rankings for California.
Check that out on Instagram.
Yeah. So there's like a couple names on here. They have number 5 is Robert Lopez.
And
Number 2 is Jose Oguna. Number 3 is Weston Kunos.
let's check this out.
Number 3 is Desmond Alvarado, and then number 1 is Hasmin Trad. Have you any heard of those names?
Um, honestly, not really.
No.
No.
Yeah, I think
But
they just dropped it today.
actually, what's his name? Aaron. What's his name? Aaron something. Oh shit, that shit just disappeared. I think he's the lightweight champ right now.
Yeah, Aaron Trobe.
Yeah, he's fighting. If I'm correct, let me double check before I say it on here. He's fighting one of my teammates, Adrian Segovia. He's
Also coming soon.
May 11th, the next Spar Stars card.
Okay.
Let me double check if that's him. I think that is him, if I'm gonna be correct. And it is him. Yeah, my boy's just to say my boy's gonna do bad things to this dude.
Yeah.
My boy's really good. He's a great wrestler. He's been wrestling since he was young, and he's like putting his hands and stuff together now. And he's 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's gonna walk through this dude.
Well,
Take,
that's a good fight for him then, right? Because
Yeah.
he's ranked right now in California, top 10.
Yeah, so yeah, my boy's gonna get that for sure. Um, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be number one soon.
Yeah.
I ain't tripping. And then at the same time, like I said, I'm gonna be amateur in like maybe 2 years, so I'll get there eventually. You know, there's one thing I noticed. There's a lot of like, not to be fucked up. I don't know if I could cuss on here, but like,
No, you
fucked up. But like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of old amateurs.
There is.
There's a bunch. And I feel like, damn, like, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of them are doing it to try to take it somewhere else in their career, but a lot of them are just doing it just like as a hobby or something. I guess just to get in.
Yeah, because there's a lot of guys that they have gyms and they have like and they're like they want to be instructors, so they just go and
Yeah.
do a little amateur career to build a name, so they're able to like use that as like a selling point of
Yeah.
like come and train at my gym. You want to train like a professional, you want to train like this, so they go over there and you can train.
Yeah.
It's just like building a name, like a resume to have like for your gym and stuff.
Yeah. So
So
the last three people I fought all have been like over 27. Yeah, and so it was new for me because my first fight he was 19 and I was 18.
yeah,
Like, okay, he's around my age. It's cool.
Yeah.
And my second fight, I think the dude was like 27 and I was still 18. My third fight, the dude was fucking 30 and I was still 18. So it was just we got older, and I
Yeah.
mean now I'm just used to it.
So
I'm
that first time when you fought, like,
an older dude. Yeah,
How-
I kind of like felt a little bit pressure because I know he's way older than me.
yeah, so you
Never-
felt the pressure, like, how was it training for that, or how was the
Um,
mindset?
It was I mean, of course I train with like some of the best fighters,
Yeah.
in the world, and have some of the best coaches. So of course I have my confidence, and I've been doing it for a long time too. So I never really doubted myself, but I was worried like, okay, this dude, I know this is gonna be strong.
Yeah,
He's gonna have grown man strength or whatever. I haven't got that yet, but now I feel like I got that because
yeah,
my last fights I just felt so much stronger than the previous dudes that are in their 30s.
Yeah.
So fighting the one his name was oh fuck. Hope he's not mad at me. I forgot his name. I'm horrible with names.
yeah.
Horrible. And and he, like I said, he was on your cousin's team.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah. So, and yeah, it was a good fight. Honestly, I didn't go in there my best, and that's why it was like I was doing things I wasn't supposed to do. During that camp, I was focused, but I wasn't. I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I was just like I wasn't focused like I have been in
Yeah.
other camps.
Like just because of work or because of
No, not
like
work.
life,
I
or
don't, just stuff. Just I don't know. Just wasn't being locked in. My head was in the right spaces. Had a lot of self doubt,
Mm.
and so I went in there and I was out striking him, but I just couldn't time his takedowns, and he just kept taking me down, taking me down, taking me down. And then just one takedown, I was in the corner. My teammate, my AJ, he was just not even like. That's why I love AJ because he gives me like tough love. He wasn't
Yeah.
like saying, "Oh no, like, no, okay, this is what you gotta do." He was like, "Nah, fuck that.
yeah, get your
Like,
shit
you
together.
gotta get your shit together. You've been bullshitting like this whole camp. You've been bullshitting. Like they knew what I was doing and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like you gotta start training different, this and that." And as soon as he said that, like, and he was like, "How bad do you want it? Like we talking like you say you want it. So how bad?" And after he said that, like I just like locked in. It was weird. I mean, it wasn't weird. It was like it was crazy how I
Yeah.
visualized. I just locked in, and then like as soon as the bell rung, I just knocked the dude out with a head kick.
What round?
It was the third.
The third
Yeah.
round.
So
So
the first two, the first one could have went either or. The second one, I think they would have gave it to him. But I mean, I was striking him the whole time.
Yeah.
It was just I couldn't time his takedown.
yeah,
I couldn't
by
defend it.
takedown and ground control and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
But and then yeah, and then so I said to myself, I'm never gonna have a fight like that again. I'm either gonna be all the way in, or if I feel like I'm not all the way, I'm gonna just pull out, because I don't
Yeah.
want to ever feel like that again. But when I'm locked in, I'm like a complete different fighter. Like this last one and the one before that, I finished the dude in the first round
Mhm.
in a minute and I forgot how many seconds. It was like the fight just started and I just submitted him. I took him down and I
Oh, you
submitted
took
him.
him down.
Yeah. And then the second fight was just, it was I feel like it was I feel like I won all the rounds.
Yeah.
I don't know how they said it was a split decision.
Oh, in the last fight.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people said it was
So there's a lot of split decisions that night.
all the champion fight. I noticed
Yeah.
that. I think they wanted to give like the crowd like, oh shit, who got it, who got it. But
Yeah.
I feel like my fight was for sure like I won all the rounds. I
Yeah.
had most of the takedowns, control, most significant hits landed,
Yeah.
power hits landed. The dude did hit me with one hard hit though. I remember like he got me. I was on the cage and he went southpaw and just bam. And I was like, oh, this dude just cracks me. Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, like now I feel like my confidence on another level. I've seen like the dude I fought, he fought the Spar Stars champ and beat him.
Yeah.
But it was a little it was crazy. So the dude he fought, his name was Christian Martinez, something like that. I think so. He's one of the dudes I might fight in the future
Okay.
if he's still amateur, because he
Yeah.
already has like 10 fights. I think he was the dude that lost to the current Spar Stars champion,
Okay.
the one that got guillotined.
Yeah.
So he fought him, and the dude he didn't want to strike with him, so he just took him down.
Yeah.
The dude I fought. So he kept taking him down round 1, round 2, round 3. Then the last it was crazy. The last 5 seconds of the third round,
Yeah.
the dude just put on a flurry of punches,
Yeah.
and the ref stopped the fight and like
What?
basically robbed the dude. I was like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So I mean, I don't really like to say I hold the win over a guy that beat the champ,
Yeah.
because in my eyes I feel like that was a robbery. 'Cause I don't think the ref should have stopped it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I and he didn't strike with him, I already know I can wrestle better than the Christian Martinez, and
Yeah.
I could strike better than him. So I know that I'll beat him when we ever cross paths. And I mean, he didn't really want to strike with the dude that I was out striking,
Yeah.
and the dude I was out wrestling. So that just plays a factor.
That
Like
they,
I look, oh,
no, go ahead.
I look at all these amateurs that are in my weight class. There's some good ones, but
Yeah.
there's some people like I'm levels above, like my striking and my timing, my speed. I like to like have that like kind of Sean O'Malley style.
Okay.
I like to like
Be loose out
be
there.
loose, of
Yeah.
course. Like I don't want to be all like fucking
Yeah.
stiff like I see most of these fighters. Like the champ that I've seen, I'm not gonna give his credit when I know how to give credit when credit's due. He's a good fighter. He's a great champ. But I feel like, of course, I could beat these guys. Like these guys are on my level, and these guys are way older than me.
Yeah.
I'm only 19.
That's how
could
you
beat
should
these
feel,
guys.
like, especially in the sport that you're in.
Yeah.
You have to feel like that. 'Cause you go into a mindset feeling that you're not better.
Yeah.
You already lost the
Yeah,
battle.
you lost the mental.
Yeah.
the
You already
mental.
done. Like so.
But yeah, I feel like I was watching their fights, and yeah, this my striking is just levels above. My wrestling, jiu-jitsu, it's getting there. It's not where I want it to be, but it's just gonna get there. 'Cause I train with some really great wrestlers, great jiu-jitsu guys, so it's gonna get there. But as of right now, yeah, I just feel like I'm just on a whole nother level than these other amateurs.
That's dope. So, damn, I lost my thought right now.
It's
I was
all-
gonna say something, but I lost my thought. Yeah, I lost my thought.
uh,
So, like, what, what made you start fighting? Like, what did you did you always like? Were you always fighting? Like, what made you make that transition to start training though? Like, how did that happen?
to start training. So basically, well, like what really wanted me to start training when I was younger was, dealing with the bullies and stuff in school,
Yeah,
and that made me want to like learn how to protect myself and to to hurt those people. But I didn't really start until I was 14, and then well, the wrestling I did when I was like 11 and 12. So the wrestling was, but it was whatever. But I just wanted to learn how to strike, I wanted to learn how to box and do kickboxing. But then I always loved martial arts because I always say this in my other interviews. My grandfather, he was always a big fan of martial arts.
yeah,
So we would always watch movies, especially like the Bruce Lee movies and stuff, Enter the Dragon and stuff. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I want to do that. But then when I figured out like, oh, that stuff is like, it looks cool in the movies, but that shit ain't
It's
gonna
not-
work.
yeah, it's
That
not
shit
practical,
Ain't,
yeah.
ain't really gonna work like that in real life. And he showed me MMA, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. I want to learn. I didn't know I wanted to be a fighter until I was about 15. And then my family kept saying, "Oh, what are you gonna do when you're 18? What are you gonna do?
yeah,
18's almost here. It's gonna come by quick." And then I was like, you know what? It's the only thing I know that I can do. So
Yeah.
I just went in pursuing that dream. So that's when I was 15. Is like when I started like grinding for it.
dope. And then your first fight, like, what was the feeling like walking out there, like how did you feel? Were you nervous? Like what was going through your head that first fight?
My first fight, honestly, so when I had, they take our pressure, our blood pressure and stuff.
Yeah.
They were saying, like they never, I don't know if they never seen, but in a while they said they never seen someone like so calm. I was like really calm for my first, and I like my first fight, and I surprised them. The I don't want to say the athletic commission, or maybe it was the athletic commission that were like taking our heart rates, whatever. They
Yeah.
were saying mine was like super like just calm and relaxed, and they were like, okay. So my first fight, of course I'm nervous. It was my first real fight, amateur fight, so I was nervous walking out. But as soon as the bell rang, and I felt the dude like kick my leg, and I seen how he jabbed at me, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, nah, I got it. I already
Yeah.
knew I had it. So it was as soon as the bell rang and I knew what he came at me with, I just knew I had it. No disrespect to him. It was a great fight.
Yeah.
It was a great fight, but I just from the very first time I
Well,
seen him,
you just felt the power,
I
or like you felt like
felt the
you could take
power. I
it,
felt
or
the technique, and I was like, okay, yeah, this ain't nothing. But yeah, so it was a great first fight for sure. It was an entertaining one.
and,
But
and then who are you like? Who do you remember watching your first MMA fight? Like, how did you get into it, or who did you see first?
honestly, I always said like McGregor. McGregor just painted out the plan I wanted. Like came from nothing, working a regular job, just um showing that anything's possible. Like he literally said he just quit his job and said I'm not gonna do this no more and just go to MMA and see where that takes him. And shit, now he's like the highest paid athlete right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Was he like the first person you ever saw fighting, or
No, I mean I knew who Lyoto Machida, Rampage Jackson, and them were growing up. I just
Yeah.
wasn't a really big UFC fan
back then?
back then. But I knew who they were. I knew Chuck Liddell and all them were. I just didn't watch it until like I got older, and of course my generation was like more of McGregor and I mean, they're not my generation, but when I grew up, they were at the top.
Yeah.
Like McGregor, Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson, and them. They were at the top. So yeah, McGregor's like when I looked at, it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to do this.
Well, that's not. It's not a bad person
Yeah,
to look at it.
yeah, not at all.
No.
And I mean, one thing I always said I feel like fighting was meant for me is because I always said I liked when I got older, I was like, okay, I like fighting, I like money, and I like traveling. And those three are exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
That's
So
dope.
yeah.
I feel that. So what else? What else? Like what's else in your mind right now? Like when you're not training, like what are you doing?
Honestly, like that's why. So, I always tell people this all the time. People say, "So do you train when you're not in camp?" I mean, yeah, I train all the time. Like,
Mm.
even though I'm not in camp, I train every day. I didn't train today. It was sparring today. I was like, I don't want my face to get messed up. I don't want to
Yeah.
fuck something up before I have to go on the podcast. So today
Yeah.
I didn't train, but usually Monday through Thursday I'll train at the gym. And then Friday through Sunday, I'll do little stuff at home, little workouts, go run. So I'm always training. I always want to make sure I'm ready all year round. So when they do say you have a fight coming up or do you
Yeah.
want to fight, I could say yes because I've been training.
Yeah.
I'm in shape. Or I'm not in shape, but I'm training.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
You still got the timing down and everything.
yeah, everything. Yeah.
How many times you are hard sparring throughout the week?
So sparring in general is like one time a week. We spar on Thursdays, but Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays, we'll do some boxing sparring or some kickboxing sparring.
Mhm.
Mix in with some takedowns. It depends who you go with. Some people want to go bang it out, and they're like, all right, fuck it, we just bang it out
Yeah.
for this sparring session. Then you go people that like move around and stuff, which is most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one really gets hurt when we spar.
So
No
it's,
one's
it's
ever
not
really
like
got.
it's still like full contact, but you're wearing pads and shit when you're
Yeah,
sparring.
of course, knee
Shin,
pads, elbow
knee
pads.
pads,
Yeah.
like shin pads, or
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
And
Or some
then
accidents.
you have a strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, they do have strength and conditioning coach, which I don't go to. But I'm gonna start. I want to get my strength up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're young, so you still gotta like.
yeah, but no, I gotta get to the next level. That's one thing I've been working on my technique for like the past like 3-4 years, just technique. But now I'm trying to work on getting my strength really like to the next level too.
Yeah.
So when I start grappling people and they feel it like my strength and
And then you have like
pressure.
you have wrestling coaches and
Yeah,
striking coaches.
yeah.
So like you have your schedule planned out, like when you're
Oh,
striking, when you're
So
wrestling.
usually Mondays and Tuesdays we strike,
Mhm.
or Mondays we mostly like do boxing and kickboxing sometimes, and Tuesday it's a mismatch. It's either we're gonna do wrestling
Mm.
and jiu-jitsu or we'll do kickboxing, or maybe we'll mix both in. But
Okay.
Wednesdays is the jiu-jitsu days for all the time, and Thursdays is the sparring days,
Okay.
and Fridays is the strength conditioning.
And you say you don't go Fridays because you're at home.
Well, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start soon
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, it's a great. It's cool, man. My coach, he learned. He knows how to like really like coach to the next level.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but
Well, he feels like he knows how to reach to you, how to like get the most out of
like he
you.
knows how to train all of us in our own styles,
Okay.
training us at once.
Okay,
It's
so
weird.
like yeah, you're doing group training,
Group
but
training
like
with like other teammates and
but
stuff.
he's not teaching everybody the same way.
Like yes and no. Like others pick up it different,
Yeah.
and some don't. But he just knows how to like. I don't know. He says all the time like not a lot of coaches know how to do it like what he does. Like it's hard to explain, but
Yeah, because most coaches they have their way of teaching, and
yeah,
everybody has to.
yeah.
So, but he's teaching. He explains the move, and then he goes and breaks it down to
Yeah, and
individual.
basically, yeah, and he says, like he watches us spar and stuff, and he says he's not gonna try to like change our styles. He's like gonna try to like evolve it. Like he sees the way he's fight, he's not gonna ask you to change it. He's just gonna add more to it.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
I,
Yeah, that's dope. You can't really complain about that,
yeah, no,
right?
I can't at all.
And then look what he's done with his son. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
that's why not learn from that, you know?
Blueprint, yeah,
Exactly.
Of course, I was blessed to have a coach and team like that because some people go in MMA career and they just find like, I mean, I'm not gonna knock coaches down, but they just find regular coaches,
Yeah,
people that
and then those coaches can only take you to a certain
so
level.
far,
Yeah,
and
so
then
far.
this coach.
And then most of the time they leave that coach and go to another team
Yeah, yeah, for
because
sure.
yeah,
They're not learning.
they're not
But my
learning.
coach, I plan to stay with him my whole career, and
Well, he's
just
already been there, right? He's been
yeah,
to the top. His son's right still there at the top. Is like, and then you got to see that. So you got to train with that.
yeah.
That's
So
dope.
when my coach, I don't think my coach is retiring anytime soon. Hopefully not.
Yeah,
But if he does, then I still have my other coach, Wyle Watson, and then his son's of course gonna be our coach after his dad steps down. He's
yeah.
gonna step and be our main coach. He's kind of like my coach slash teammate.
Okay,
So like when I fight, he corners me,
okay.
AJ. So
Yeah,
he basically is my coach, but.
that's cool. How do you feel? You think that your opponents feel like that AJ's in your corner? Do
Um,
you think they get intimidated or?
A little bit, of course, see who I train with.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at AJ, how he knocks people and finishes people, you're like,
yeah,
okay, damn. So he's training with him. So yeah, that's one thing I go into confidence too, because every time I go into, I've never fought someone that's training with like a high level guy that I'm training with like AJ.
yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna run into someone like that eventually,
Mm-hmm.
but as of right now, yeah. So I feel like when I go into fights, I have
So
great
you feel like that you
confidence.
have a little edge
Yeah.
in that department right as of right now.
Yeah, like when my rounds with AJ, like when we spar, he beats the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Well, I can't do nothing. So then I go in the fight thinking, well, if I could do that with AJ, this fight's easy.
Yeah,
Like my fights with AJ, my rounds with AJ felt way more harder than my fights.
that's good.
So that's what I feel like, easy.
That's pretty dope. So right now, what do you got? You got anything to leave the people with?
Um, like really just follow your dreams. Don't let no one knock you down. Like there's a bunch of haters out there, and just you can't listen to sheep, That's what I say. Like
Yeah,
people try to always knock me down and say all this and that, and
that's
people would
good.
tell me all the time like,
Yeah,
oh, what are you gonna get with this? Like when I would train all the time, I literally someone told me like, well not told me, but they told someone
yeah,
that why is he doing all that if it's not gonna benefit him? Like he's training so much, like it's not gonna benefit him in any way.
yeah.
And then fucking like a year and a half later, like it's benefited me a lot. It's
Exactly.
got me on these podcasts. It's gotten me a few amount of followers on Instagram, and I'm just working my way up the amateur rankings. I already
Yeah,
have a title within not even a year of fighting. I have a belt already, and my skill level has just gone so much just from that. So I just block haters out, like friends for hating, family
yeah.
doubting. So I believe in myself. I'll always believe in myself, and I'll never knock down myself. But I'm saying this to like for people to believe in themselves. Like, don't let no one tell you that you can't do it, because the only person that can tell you and like that you can't do it is yourself.
Yeah,
And self doubt, and that goes a long way when you doubt yourself. That plays a long factor.
for sure.
So I just don't just be grateful for what you got.
No. What's your like top three fights of all time? Like MMA fights.
MMA fights. There's a lot of them. Uh, I think of course John Jones. I think his one with Alexander Gustafsson was a great one. I think it was the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the first one. But Jones even said he didn't train for that camp.
yeah,
So I mean that makes me think of like if he would have took it serious and trained, like how much better he could have did. Cause I think 40 said he trained like 2 or 3 weeks, I think, if
yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
yeah, something like that.
So that was a great fight though from both sides. That was a great fight. It was a very close one. And then honestly, I liked McGregor when he fought Chad Mendes.
That's a dope fight.
That was a dope one. That was a good one. Even though it was only like the second round, they looked like they fought 5 rounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're both pretty
they were
gassed.
pretty
And then
gassed and
but
beat up. So that was a good one too. I like that one a lot. And then what's another good one? High level wise, Volk versus Islam was a good one. Like a lot of grappling and exchanging and a lot of striking exchanges.
Yeah,
That was a good one. Of course, there's better ones, but off the top of my head, it's just those three.
that's what you feel.
Yeah, of course, there's better ones, but off the top of my head, that's all I could think of right now.
Who's your top 5 MMA fighters?
Top 5? Okay, of course, I gotta give my flowers to McGregor, John Jones, and like MMA fighters in general, not like UFC fighters. MMA.
Yeah, MMA. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
I know
John Jones.
people always say like
McGregor.
I do UFC,
Yeah,
but
UFC,
no, MMA.
It's crazy.
Yeah, top 5 MMA fighters.
Yeah, so yeah, John Jones for sure. He's the GOAT. I think he's the best like in the world to ever do it. Even though people try to knock his credit for him, popping for steroids and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, even without it, I think he still would have been great in
Oh,
beating
for sure.
people. And of course, you have McGregor. I like McGregor just because of what he did and like he spoke it into existence. Even though he's not like he's on the downfall right now.
Yeah.
I can't knock him over. Like he changed the game for all. He opened up the MMA
Yeah.
world to the eyes to a lot of people.
Yeah, there's
Like-
generational fighters.
Yeah.
There's in every sport, there's gonna be that generational person that comes in and changes the game. You
Yeah.
know, McGregor's that person for this era.
Yeah.
Like he came in, first double champ, brought the sport to a whole different generation, bigger eyes, more audience. So like you show him that respect.
Yes, sir. And then who else we got here? I'll always give my hats off to my teammate AJ. He's honestly right now he's one of my favorite fighters.
AJ
Like,
yeah, he's
his
good.
style is just crazy. Like he could wrestle, jiu-jitsu, and of course he can knock people out
Yeah.
at 145s. So that's 3. I don't know. I would say Anderson Silva, but honestly, I think a lot of people like of course you gotta give Anderson Silva his flowers, but I think Adesanya would beat Anderson Silva if they fought in their
You
prime.
think so?
I think so. And one thing you gotta think about too, people talk about like people back then, but you gotta think about how more advanced MMA is now from
Yeah.
being back then. Of course, you can't knock the goats off for their flowers,
Yeah,
but I think Adesanya, or maybe not, but I think Adesanya is like one of the greatest middleweights.
he's good.
He's either the greatest or the second to greatest middleweight. Because I mean, after who else is a middleweight goat other than Anderson?
Yeah.
GSP was a welterweight goat.
Yeah,
Wasn't
GSP's welterweight.
even though he got both belts, he was the welterweight.
No, like it's between Adesanya and Anderson. I'm gonna say Anderson. It's our generation,
Yeah, generation.
But Anderson in his prime, like
He was great. His movement, it was like advanced to like
Yeah.
all the other people striking. They were nowhere near like
he
as fluid
knocked
as him.
out he knocked out Forrest Griffin
Forrest Griffin, yeah,
backwards
yeah, he was going backwards.
Going
Pow,
backwards
yeah,
and-
hit him
and knocked
he
him
just
out.
dropped.
He knocked out Vitor Belfort with
the teep kick.
With the teep kick.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like
It was crazy. His striking was like levels above everybody else's. But
I
then-
agree. They're saying right here Gracie. I agree. Hoist Gracie.
Royce Gracie.
For me, like Hoist Gracie would be in my top 5 just because of like he started it all.
Yeah, he did. He
Came in
started-
here and like he started it all. Like came in and showed like mixed martial arts. Like he came in and showed was a jiu-jitsu guy. Came in tapping everybody
Yeah,
out.
all the like
Yeah.
strikers and stuff.
Yeah,
But and then my 5th, I think I gotta go with Demetrius Johnson.
that's a goat for sure.
Yeah, he's a goat. He was
Yeah.
good, man. He was real good. I hate that the biggest downfall UFC ever did was trading for Van
For Van Askren.
Van
Yeah.
Askren, bro.
But
Biggest downfall.
yeah, but I think it was good for him for good for him too, just because I think like he wasn't getting pushed. Like he wasn't
Yeah.
getting pushed. The division was kind of stagnant.
They thought
Now
about like canceling
now the division's fucking it's
it. Good.
yeah, like if he comes back to that division, that him and Brandon Moreno would be a good fight. Like
Right now, Pantoja's the champ.
yeah, him and Pantoja. Like,
Brandon Royval, I think is no, he's not fighting him. Never
no,
mind.
he's not fighting.
No,
No,
'cause they
Brandon
just
Roval just fought Brandon
fought
Moreno.
and beat him.
Yeah. So like now the division is on fire. Like there's a lot of good contenders over there.
I don't think he would come back, but if he did, it'll be tight.
Yeah, I don't think he'll come back. He's making money over there.
Yeah,
He's,
one
yeah,
champion.
I won. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of good fights now at what was
125.
125.
That's the weight class I'm a be in when I'm pro. Yeah.
125?
My coach told me either
Yeah.
you could be 135 and gain a lot more muscle,
hmm
or you could just cut to 125 when you're pro. And I was like, almost like I want to be like not weight bully, but I want to be like a size bully. Like,
Yeah.
I want to fight. I want to be like how Sean O'Malley is compared to other like
Yeah.
35ers. That's how I want to be against
How Jimmy
25ers.
was at 135.
No, I'm talking about like size wise, because
Also,
I'm
like-
gonna be taller than a lot of the
I was
25ers.
talking about like length and
Yeah,
like,
so
tall,
like
reach.
most of the people I fought, I was taller than,
Mhm.
except for my last dude. He looked like we're about the same size.
Yeah,
But I
he
feel
looked kind of tall.
Yeah, I
like,
feel like my reach was a little bit more though. So that's why my punches were getting in more. So I feel like
Right
if
now-
I fight 25ers,
are you gonna fight at 125 in amateur before you go, or
I don't think so, but maybe one just to
just
feel
how that weight cut is, right?
But
like
at the same time, it's gonna be the same day, unless I
Oh.
go to Up Next and
Yeah.
like fight on a pro show, and I could do 125 and then
And then
have that day.
that full day of
So maybe I did want to do that. I did want to have at least one or two before I went pro, so go to 125.
yeah,
But we'll see. I still got enough time to debate what I want to do.
yeah. Cause that's a bigger weight cut. 125. That's
That's for sure, and I for sure gotta stay down in weight.
yeah. So you gotta even watch yourself even more, right? In between camps, like
way more. Well, like I said, I want to go around like 145 ish. So
yeah.
I'll be
But
good.
still, 145 to 125. That's 20 pounds. But that's a gang of weight, bro.
It is a gang of weight, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do it. Do it the right way. Of course, I could do it. The right teammates, right nutritionist. I'll be able to do it. It'll be light work. But fuck, I'll be skinny though. Super skinny.
Yeah. But it's everybody does it, right? Like
Everybody does it.
everybody
honestly.
cuts weight.
Because no one wants to fight. Like the thing is, people say, "Oh, fight at your natural weight." Fight at that. Hell no.
No.
Because the natural weight you're fighting at, that's someone else that's way bigger. You're just cutting down to make that weight.
Yeah, exactly. So you
Like-
got these big ass foot. Like look at Alex Pereira.
Basically, nigga
Come
weighs.
on.
Oh, the dude weighs like 220, 230,
Yeah.
and then he's over here cutting to 185
He was at
when
one-
he fought
yeah.
Izzy.
Yeah.
Now he's a 205.
205, but still he's at 205 and then a fight night he's 235.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's insane. Like right now, like I would have to fight in heavyweight.
Yeah, so
Like I would have to fight heavyweight. Like that's crazy. I ain't
yeah, no,
fucking fighting in heavyweight.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, so like 35ers, a lot of them cut from like 160, 155
Yeah.
to make 135, and then the welterweights cut from like 200 pounds just to make 170,
Yeah.
or maybe even more than that. So everyone's cutting weight. So no one's fighting at their nut, unless you're like Covington, which is, I guess. But he
Yeah.
said he only cuts like, he doesn't cut like 10 pounds. He said he cuts like 10 pounds
10 pounds. Yeah.
just to fight at 170 when everyone else is cutting fucking
Do you
30.
feel like there should be more weight classes? Or you
Yes and no. I feel like at first I wasn't really like, nah, we don't need them, but I think 165 would be pretty good. And then instead of having 170, put it at 175,
yeah.
because how those 10
That's the
pound
rumor
gaps.
right now, right? With UFC that they might have they might do a 165 and then was it 175?
Yeah, because Dana White shut it down at first, but
Yeah.
then I mean it's been a while. It was like 5 years ago, so I think they
Yeah.
looked into
But
it.
that's the rumor right now. So the Michael Chandler and McGregor fight is to be supposed like they're saying that they might announce that to be the first 165 pound title fight
Yeah,
at 165.
I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe, but hopefully
That's the perfect person to
that is for those two.
yeah. So like the perfect person to like announce a new weight class and to make a champion is Will McGregor right now. So he's the biggest name in the sport. So if you're gonna announce a new weight class and have a new champion at a new weight class, why wouldn't it be McGregor? He has a fan base. He's gonna bring attention to that weight class, and then now people are gonna want to go in there and fight. You get those people that are in between that are cutting weight down to like 160. That's hard for them.
Yeah.
Why not be at 165?
Yeah.
But then you also also you're gonna have a lot of weight classes now. Like, and then you're gonna have a bunch of champions, like how it is in boxing, like every
Yeah, that's
couple
one thing
pounds.
too. Like boxing, that's crazy. They have a champ like every 2-3 pounds.
Yeah,
Like and I was like, that's like I think even Canelo said that like there's too many champions. Just have
Yeah.
a few weight classes, and then just whoever's winning and number one contenders, and then yeah, basically like how UFC is.
yeah,
But like all those belts is crazy. Like everybody has a belt. Everybody has it. They're just giving belts away.
yeah. Well, then there's like all those there's a bunch of interims. There's a bunch of like
Yeah.
different other belts besides the main belt. So I don't know. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, boxing is crazy.
You watch a lot of boxing or no?
Not really, but I watch like the main fights. Like I watch Tyson Fury, of course Tank and Devin and Ryan, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. Like I watch
Yeah.
the pretty known boxers. I'm not really a big in boxing, but all the known ones and people that are entertaining, I watch.
They
Like
just
Matias and them.
yeah, Matias is tight.
Matias is
They
good.
just announced one of the biggest fight cards is going to be in LA. Have you seen that?
Oh, with
Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford's going to be on that card. Pitbull Cruz versus Jose Valenzuela is going to be on that
Yeah.
card. Tim Sue versus Virgil Ortiz. Andy Ruiz
And-
versus Miller.
That's crazy.
And then David Morrell is going to be on that fight.
and
And then
Cruz something.
yeah, Cruz is supposed to be on that fight.
He's fighting one of my I have homies that they're boxers and their older brother is fighting him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It was something-
Abner Mares.
Oh, Abner
How is this supposed to fuck?
Abner Martinez.
He has two little twin brothers.
He's supposed to be
boys.
fighting Leo Santa Cruz on that
Yeah.
card, number 3.
Yeah.
On that same card, it's gonna be at LAFC Stadium, BMO Stadium. The dude from Saudi Arabia, Turk, the dude from Saudi Arabia, they announced that card. So that's like one of the most stacked cards ever. Dog, it's crazy. I'm trying to be at that fight.
Me too.
If you got the hookup, hit us up. We'll be there. But yeah, they just announced that shit. They announced that the next day they did a press conference. That's like they're on a roll. And then Virgil Ortiz is fighting this weekend, and he's ready on that card.
Oh shit.
He's ready fighting, and that's gonna be they announced Virgil Ortiz versus Tim Sue. Whoever wins that fight is gonna be the number 1 contender for the Terrence Crawford fight. So if Terrence Crawford wins against what's his name?
Terrence Crawford's a beast though.
If Terrence Crawford wins that fight, it's something. Let me see. I got it right here. Then the winner of the Sue and Virgil Ortiz fight will fight Terrence if Terrence wins.
Who do you got? I don't know. They might fight, maybe not. Depends, kind of, because people feel like Canelo's ducking. But who do you think will win, him or David Benavidez?
Canelo.
I got Canelo.
Yeah,
But
Canelo. But
people trying to make
him and Munguia, I think Munguia is gonna give him a good fight. Crawford versus Madamarov.
He's Russian or Ukrainian?
I don't know. Probably Russian off. Madamarov.
The Russians.
I think that's for a bout. That's for the bout, and then Cruz is defending his bout. Pitbull Cruz is defending his bout. So
He whooped Rolly.
yeah, that's pretty much exactly how I thought it was gonna go. Cruz is like he can take a punch. He has a high guard. His
Mhm,
defense is on
right.
point. So like, yeah, the fight that he's fighting with Venezuela, that should be a good fight. Jose Rayo Venezuela,
Yeah.
right? That one should be a really good fight though, because Venezuela he won his last fight. He looked really good in that fight, and he moves around a lot. So, and then Cruz likes to attack. So I don't know. I think Cruz takes that fight, but it's gonna be an interesting fight.
Yeah, I think I got Pitbull too. Can't go wrong with him.
Someone said Brick Baby versus Predator.
The hell is that?
I don't. All right. Anything else to leave the people?
Not really.
Where can they follow you at? Where they can
Oh yeah.
do all that?
On Instagram, 562_Lucas, with a K though. LUCKAS_. Yeah. And then TikTok, same thing. Pretty much it.
Let's go. That's it. Another episode of Food Sports, and
We
this
out.
camera's out. That's that's just I try to switch over and that's just out. I, yeah, we out of here. Food Sports, Mike Theory. You got Lucas Brown in the building. Check him out.
Sir.
MMA fighter, 135-pound champion on the rise, 4-0. Let's go. We out.